Going on? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. And Pillow Talk is where we get together and we have intelligent conversations about things happening in the Black community. And so I want to welcome everybody and also welcome my lovely wife. How you doing today, babe?
I'm all right. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. I sure
I'll make
can.
sure everybody can hear me.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you're coming through perfectly well. And also as you all come in, give us a yes. Let us know if you can hear us, okay? And also, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and let's just jump right into it. So today, I wanted to ask you about. We were kind of digging through, or I was digging through some stuff. My Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce. Sorry, not the real Boyce Watkins. That's the one that had half a million. That's the one that had 500,000 people on it that Instagram decided to suddenly make disappear. This is why everybody make sure you get your backup social media accounts because I have over 100,000 now, but I had to start over from zero. So I always have a plan B because Massa might come and take away what you got. So my Instagram is not the real Boyce Watkins. That's the old one. My new one is Dr. Boyce Finance. Dr. Boyce Finance. And I saw this video of a lady that was basically telling her child's father that he could not see the baby. And it seemed to me that the belief was that he had too many girlfriends. And that basically because he has so many girlfriends, that was not appropriate. And she was making the executive decision that he should not be able to see the child. So did you see the video?
I did. I saw it this morning. You sent it to me. I saw it.
How did you
Yeah.
feel? How'd you feel when you first saw it?
Yeah, it was really sad because if are you going to be able to show the video, because you
Yeah.
can see that the mom was really concerned for her child. And I'm just curious about how they interacted with each other. Why didn't the father ask her more questions about how is it that she came to that decision that she feels that her child is at risk? Like, what was it about the concept of trusting him to do what's right for the child? What was she afraid was going to happen? What types of conversations that she needed to disclose and talk about? What information did she come in contact with in order for her to draw the conclusions that I don't feel safe sending my child to you because I don't know what these women are going to do to my child? Like, that's what it sounded like to me. And I couldn't understand why they didn't have that conversation instead of this back and forth bickering.
Okay.
That's my
Um, well,
reaction.
okay, perfect then. So what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do is I'm gonna play this video. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear the video. Okay, I'm gonna play it as I play it. If everyone could, as you hit the thumbs up button, give me a yes if you can hear this video, and we're gonna kind of see what's said here, and then kind of dissect it a little bit. So here we go.
Where my baby at? Why you come out here without my baby?
And why are you recording me? Baby in the house.
Why you come out here without my baby?
Don't you got a girlfriend? Why don't y'all go make a baby? Why are
What
you...
that got to do with my baby? Cause I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with my baby?
I don't want her around my kid.
But if you got a boyfriend, it's cool. So you
Why
can bring
are you
a boy.
worried about me? What the fuck?
So you can bring a boy, but I can't bring no girl around.
No.
So I'm paying $1,500 in child support and I can't see my baby.
No.
See?
See what?
See?
Why the fuck is you recording me? See what?
See?
See what?
Don't have kids. Y'all don't have kids.
You weird.
Don't have kids.
And you weird.
$1,500 in child support.
And you weird.
$1,500 child support. I can't see my
stuff.
baby.
No.
$1,500.
In the house. You can see the baby, but not her.
So where's she at?
In the house.
So go get her.
No. You can go see her. I'm not gonna go get nobody. It's cold out here.
$1,500 in child support.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about I got a girlfriend. I can't see my baby because I got a girlfriend. But
No,
you got a
you
boyfriend.
can't.
But
Okay,
you got a
and
boyfriend.
so what?
Don't have kids, bro.
No, you don't have kids.
Y'all don't have kids.
You don't have kids.
Y'all don't want nobody like her. Don't have kids, bro.
Okay. So were y'all able to hear the video? Let me know if you're able to hear it. Okay. And also everybody give me kind of a one word or one sentence description of how you feel about what you just saw here. So Dr. Alicia, as the relationship therapist who deals with couples and families with conflict all the time, what's the first thing that goes through your mind?
I think she's afraid. She's afraid of something. I'm not quite certain what it is because they didn't have that conversation. But yeah, she was afraid of something that was going to happen to her child if she released her child to him. Another thing that I thought about was that maybe she still likes him. Maybe she still hasn't quite settled with the idea that he's moved on. Maybe because he said you can see her, but you're gonna have to come into the house to see her. And it just sounds like she probably still has feelings for him that she needs to come to terms with and acknowledge. Um, though that's another thought that I had in my mind that maybe she just you have a baby with some. I mean, you think about having a baby with somebody, and it's a very bonding experience. The pregnancy part, the 10 months or whatever that it takes for the baby to come out. And during the time that you are pregnant with somebody and you're in a relationship with them, you have all of these high hopes that you will be, a happy family. And that for some reason didn't happen. And the two of them separated. And looks like she's moved on and he's moved on, but there still could be some lingering feelings there that she may have toward him. Um, so, I mean, that could be one of the other reasons. I mean, she was smiling. I didn't see anything funny. So I saw some incongruence between what she was saying and what her behavior was. So those are my kind of thoughts. And I see people in the chat, and I think we need to stop it. The people in the chat who are being really judgmental, who are putting this lady down, who are talking negatively about somebody going through something very serious that has to do with their children. I really think we need to cut it out. Lenora, I think you're way off. You know what I mean? Anybody who says that what I'm saying is way off, like I really do think that that we need to start seeing situations like this with a little more compassion and a little more understanding. And we're not having the conversations that we need to have. So I just want to say that, by the way. I think that
Okay.
it's a little kind of it's judgmental, and I think we need to cut it out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before I give my take, I want to ask everybody, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and in case you want to know why we're talking about this particular topic, which I'm gonna, some of you are just now coming in, so I want you all to see this video. I'm gonna play it again so we can have it fresh in our head, and then I'll give my assessment. My wife and I, we do Pillow Talk because our goal is to facilitate and to support intelligent conversations in our community. And my PhD is in finance, so I'm interested in the money part. Her PhD is in social work, and she's a licensed therapist and all this other stuff. So she's interested in the relationship part because she works with couples and individuals and families. And so her website is coachingwithdralicia.com. So if you have family drama or family trauma and you want to work through it in a healthy way, feel free to go to coachingwithdralicia.com. There's a lot of resources there because the first thing that's coming to mind to me before I play this clip one more time is that they need help. They need help. And I think that a lot of young people, they try to solve relationship problems on their own. They say, well, I'm going to figure it out, or I'm going to deal with my baby mama, or this guy, apparently he's a TikTok star. I don't know who he is, but he's 19 and he's got these followers. And sometimes that can kind of gas you up. You know, when I got my first few 100,000 followers, it was kind of like, whoa, look at all these people. But so I can't imagine how that must feel when you're 19 and you've got all this internet clout. It can make you think that is going to somehow magically fix your family situation. It just doesn't. And I really think they need help. I think they should go seek support and mentorship because to me, what
Yeah.
matters most is the well-being of the child. And I think that that's the part that's kind of debatable. And I'm gonna give everybody a trigger warning. Me and my wife may not agree on everything, right? And I choose to see it as I'm learning from her, she's learning from me, we learn from each other. Okay, so give me a yes if you can learn from different points of view. I want to frame the conversation properly. Everybody give me a yes if you will at least commit to me that you'll hear other perspectives, you'll try to understand it, even if you disagree, because I think that that's what's really important. So let me lay this out. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna play this video one more time because I think we want to assess this, because a lot of us have gone through this kind of stuff and this is really serious. This is happening to our kids. So here we go. Let's play this video again.
Where my baby at? Why you come out here without my
And
baby?
why are you recording me? Baby in the house.
Why you come out here without my baby?
Don't you got a girlfriend? Why don't y'all go make a baby? Why are
What
you?
that got to do with my baby? Cause I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with my baby?
I don't want her around my kid.
But if you got a boyfriend, it's cool. So you
Why
can bring
are you
a boy.
worried about me? What the fuck?
So you can bring a boy, but I can't bring no girl around.
No,
So I'm paying $1,500 in child support and I can't see my baby.
no.
See?
See what?
See?
Why the fuck is you recording me? See what?
See?
See what?
Don't have kids. Y'all don't have kids.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it down right there because I think that that's enough to see. So let me give a perspective, and I want to just be clear. There's gonna be some parts where my wife and I won't see eye to eye. We take different approaches to solving problems.
I just want to say that there's a bunch.
You got you, babe. You got to let me.
Oh
talk.
no, I want to agree with you. There's a
Okay,
bunch
go
of
ahead.
different perspectives you can have, and I do understand he's in pain too. He's hurting too. But the judgmental part is the part where I just get off the bus. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only part where I don't agree. But
Right.
that's it.
And here's where I think it's okay for me to let you all know that me and my wife don't see everything eye to eye. I believe we have judges in our society for a reason. I believe that judging is something that's sometimes required when it comes to setting standards, and I'm judging. I'm just gonna go ahead and admit I'm judging, and I'm trying to judge in a way that's not as judgmental as it needs to be, right? I don't want to be overly judgmental. I'm not just judging her. I'm not just judging him. I'm really, and rather than judging him or judging her, I'd rather just judge the situation. Because here's the part where I become Judge Judy up in his mug. I'm Judge Judy in the sense that
Why?
that you're hurting your freaking kid, right? You know, your child is getting hurt by this. When the parents can't get along, I know a lot of y'all in here have been through baby mama, baby daddy drama. Raise your hand if you give me a yes if you've gone through it, you know, with your child's parent. And I understand that, but the fact that you don't even you never take the time to learn that, like, look, there's people out there that can help you resolve your conflicts so that you can do what's best for the child, and people don't take advantage of those resources. People just they fight it out, they try to fight it out and figure it out, and you never do. And the biggest casualty is your child. So yeah, you know, my wife don't judge, but I do. I'm judging all this. I'm judging everybody up in here, including myself, for times where, you know, you could have been patient, you could have gone to learn how to handle your conflicts properly, handle it in a mature way, and you didn't, and your kids struggled. So yeah, I'm judgmental on this. So I personally think that this is a conflict of interest. You know, this is something where there's a lot of good points being made, right? So you know, from her perspective, maybe she feels like it's not safe for her child to be around people that she doesn't know. You know, and I think it's right. She has a right to feel that way. But then he has a right to say, look, that's my baby. You know, she made a baby with this man. And you up here, you decide you get to be judge, jury, and executioner for that relationship with the father. That is an excessive abuse of power. And I really believe he should take that to court, not to the court of Instagram. You know,
Yeah.
a bunch of people hitting the like button and saying, you know, and giving you comments that affirm your point of view. That's not the same as actually having a judge make a court order that demands that you get to see your child.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you know, even though she may be going through something herself something's coming up for her, it's not healthy for her to she needs to deal with that. What's going on with her? It's not healthy for her to say, okay, come pick your child up at this time on this day. And then when he comes and picks it up, when they've made an agreement and an arrangement, he comes, and then all of a sudden she's like, no, I'm not having you go because there's this other person in the car. You can't dictate what the non-custodial partner does. You can't dictate what the father does when the child is in their care. It's none of her business if he has a girlfriend, if he wants to bring that child around. It's none of her business. And then vice versa. It just like he said, it's none of his business what she's doing, as long as the child's not being harmed and there's no evidence of it. There's nothing you could do. You agreed to have a child with this person, and so you have to know that that's just their fate. You know what I mean? You have to know, unless you have some information, unless she could come on out with it, this particular person. That's why I was wondering why he didn't say, she said, as long as you're with this person, the baby can't come with you. And he should have said, what did she do? Is there anything that she did? Could she point to anything in particular? She could have said, well, this person has a you know, a history of abuse of children, you know, then she would have like, okay, that would make sense. But anything outside of that, it doesn't make sense that she would not allow, you know, her child to go with a visitation with the father, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that this this unfortunately is a common case of bad parenting, which is very common, unfortunately, right now, because a lot of us grew up with, seeing bad parenting, so we're emulating the bad parenting that we saw. And with this guy, he's 19. They said he's a TikTok star. I don't know what star he is, but being a TikTok star doesn't change anything. But I did read something about, 3 or 4 girlfriends or something like that, which, whatever. He's 19,
That's
things
his
happen.
business.
That's it, right? That is his
Not her
business.
business.
That is his business. That is his business. I do think, again, me jumping in as Judge Judy and kind of, or Judge Mathis. I don't want to be Judge Judy.
I don't see, you know,
I,
I'm
I,
gonna say something. I don't see you being judgmental. I don't see you being calling her names. I don't see you calling him names. I don't see you putting anybody down, Boyce. I don't see you being judgmental. I see you really just giving your perspective. I thought you were going to be judgy, but you don't come across to me as judgy. You come across as just trying to explain and describe the dynamic that's happening between two people.
oh, okay. So in your judgment, I'm not being judgy. Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're not being judgmental. Like judgmental would be calling names, like I see people doing in the chat, saying very terrible things about this particular person. These two people are having a very real, it doesn't seem like it was staged. Let's just assume that it was a real conversation. It doesn't seem like it was staged. I see two people having a real moment. You mentioned they probably need some sort of intervention. They need some sort of conflict resolution. They need some sort of rules and guidelines. Yeah, I mean, everything that you've said, it makes perfect sense to me. It's
it.
not judgy.
Well, you know what? I agree with Parable, the sower co-op. Therapy again is the one solution that's not happening. Let me just tell you,
And listening is not happening.
well, listening is not happening, and that's true. And I think therapy. One thing you get from therapy is you learn how to listen, and I think that also the creation of a family is something that requires you to care about something more than yourself. And I don't know if a lot of people really understand that. I see a lot of people that may be in relationships or have children from a position of ego, like what my standards are going to be, what I'm not going to tolerate, what I'm not going to let nobody do to me. I'm not going, and I hear the word I a lot, and I don't hear the word we used very often. The word we means that you're thinking about the group. The word I means you're thinking about yourself. And how often, I want y'all to pay attention to how often people describe their relationships with the word I. They describe dating with the word I expect the man to do this. I expect the man to do that. I expect women to do this. I'm, women don't do this. Women don't do that. And refuse to accept that. And I
Yeah.
just kind of think that right there, that's a big part of your problem. I think that when you're leading a family, good leaders understand that leadership is service. And leadership being service means that if I create a family, I'm here to serve the family. Serving the family might mean putting my ego to the side
Yeah.
and doing what's best for the family, right? So let's process this in the context of this
Mhm.
debate. And since some of y'all are just coming in, I'm gonna play the video again so you can see it. Maybe service for him might mean him saying, you know what, however I handle this, I got to handle it in the most appropriate way, because the number one concern I have is for my child. That's it, and also because this is the mother of my child, she gave life to the most important human being in my life. I'm going to give her a certain amount of deference and respect because I chose this woman as the mother of my child. See, that's the thing we forget, that we choose. You chose her, and then for her, maybe you know, leadership and service would mean her saying, this is my child's father. My child needs her father. We're gonna have to talk it out. We're gonna have to listen. We're gonna have to figure it out. I don't really like this very much, but I also chose him. And I know my child is choosing him because that's the only father she's ever going to have. So out of respect for my child and out of love for my child, I'm going to find a way to work through this in a way that does not create additional conflict. I think even also the fact of like putting it on social media as if that's going to make a difference.
Kind of
That
tacky.
that's just crazy, right? Because
Yeah.
remember, kids grow up fast. By the time the child's in the second or third grade, they'll be able to go back and watch this video of mama and daddy acting like complete buffoons in front of the world, and that's just not going to be good for the child's mental health. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments and they mentioned immaturity. And I would have to say there's a growth opportunity here for both of them. I don't want to use the word immaturity. I will use the word a growth opportunity, because when you have a child, you're no longer just thinking about yourself now. You're at the and think, I mean, just think about having children at a young age. What is he, 19? She probably don't look any older than 19. So during that age, that's where you are naturally sort of just like selfish. That's a selfish period of your life. You're trying to figure out what you want to do in your career. You're trying to do all of these things. You're trying to accomplish all of these things. Assuming that that's what they're doing. I don't know, but you're figuring out the world. And to do that, you do have to kind of be a little selfish. You need to be a little egocentric. It's a very egocentric time in our lives when we're 19. Y'all think about when you were 19 years old. You're thinking about, oh God, I want to do this. Or maybe you're in college, maybe you're trying to get a job, maybe you're trying to learn a skill. So it's a time where you need to develop things, and then you have a baby. And it pushes you to kind of like hurry up and figure out what you want to do, and also think about yet another person. So you're not allowed to be selfish. You're not allowed to be egocentric, because you need to think about, yeah, there's another person. There's a bunch of different people I now need to consider in my life. And I love what you described, Boyce, because what you're describing is the interdependence that happens when you're in a relationship with someone. And even if you're not in a romantic relationship with that person, you have to still have a relationship with this person for the rest of your life. It may not be romantic, but it could also, you still have to be interacting with this person for the rest of your life. Now, girlfriends come and go, we know that, but the mom to your child, just think about graduations and weddings and all these things that happen. It keeps you connected to this person forever. Yeah.
All right, everybody. You're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, this podcast is on Spotify and Apple. So if you look up Boyce Watkins on Spotify and Apple, you can find the Dr. Boyce breakdown where you can get this content. Also, tonight at 8 o'clock, every Tuesday, we do the Love and Money Lab, which is basically a deep, complex training that we do on all areas related to love and money. So if you want to get your money right, and you want to get your relationships right, and you want to blend them in a way that's going to be beneficial, we are experts in this. We're not just YouTubers. We both have PhDs, and we teach college students. We've been doing this for a while. So feel free to go to the loveandmoneylab.com. And if you want to get a big discount, you can use the code word BlackLove2024, all one word, BlackLove2024 at theloveandmoneylab.com. And you can join us tonight. And also, Alicia's website is coachingwithdralicia.com. That's coachingwithdralicia.com. All right, so let me play this video one more time, and then I'm going to do kind of my final assessment. I'll let you get the last word. So here's the clip one more time for those of you that just came in. We're talking about this couple that had this dispute over the mother believing that the child shouldn't see the father because the father has too many girlfriends. I'm going to play a little bit of this clip so you guys can see it in case you just came in. Here we go.
Where my baby at? Why you come out here without my baby?
And why are you recording me? Baby in the house.
Why you come out here without my baby?
Don't you got a girlfriend? Why don't y'all go make a baby?
What that got to do with my baby? Cause I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with my baby?
I don't want her around my kid.
But if you got a boyfriend, it's cool. So you can bring
Why are
a
you
boy.
worried about me? What the fuck?
So you can bring a boy, but I can't bring no girl around.
No.
So I'm paying $1,500 in child support, and I can't see my baby.
No.
See?
See what?
See?
Why the fuck is you recording me? See what?
See?
See what?
Don't have kids. Y'all don't have kids.
You weird.
Don't have kids.
And you weird.
$1,500 in child support.
And you weird.
$1,500 child support. I can't
weird
see my
stuff.
baby.
No.
$1,500.
In the house. You can see the baby, but not her.
So where's she at?
In the house.
So go get her.
No. You can go see her. I'm not gonna go get nobody. It's cold out here.
$1,500 in child support.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about I got a girlfriend. I can't see my baby because I got a girlfriend. But
No,
you got a
you
boyfriend.
can't.
But
Okay,
you got a
and
boyfriend.
so what?
Don't have kids, bro.
No, you don't have kids.
Y'all don't have kids.
You don't have kids.
Y'all don't want nobody like her. Don't have kids, bro.
Okay. All right. So that's interesting. First, another thought that came to mind was the money part. I think about money a lot, and I kind of found it interesting that he was saying, almost like because I paid 1,500, I have earned the right to see my child, and I think that's first of all, that's not true in my opinion. I don't think money should be a requirement to see your child. But then again,
we could have paid 15 cents.
right.
But
But then again, though, bills have to be paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their expenses for kids. The average child in America costs about $300,000 to raise. I don't want mothers to be the only people paying that cost. At the same time, though, you're right. I don't think that should be the only condition for seeing the child.
No.
Nor does it earn you the automatic right to see your child just because you pay.
No.
So I think that he is probably at a stage where he's, it sounds like he's young and he's making his money on TikTok. He must be making a lot because $1,500.
I know the calculations. Yeah, he's
right. I paid $1,200 in child support for a long time, and I was making about $115,000 a year at that time. So if he's paying more than I was paying, which I assume means he's making more than I was making, which is a lot of money to make at 19. So what I'm really feeling and wondering is all the girlfriends and everything that's going on, how much that is affected by him having so much money at the age of 19,
he hurt her. He hurt her. She's mad at him. She is angry with him.
She's mad, but that does
using
not
the baby to get back at him.
Right, she is right, which to me is inappropriate, right? So that does not mean he did something wrong, though, right? So I think that's right. He has a right to live his life and to do what he wants to do. But it does seem I did pick up on this. It seemed on her energy. I picked up on, I think he said, "Where's my baby?" She was like, "Well, don't you got a girlfriend?" She's kind of smiling, almost like a jealous, like controlling, like I've got this leverage on you kind of situation. Which right there, that just seems like a recipe for disaster. What do you think?
No, I was gonna say she's mad at him. She's upset with him. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. She's coming across to me as really angry with him for something. Probably, maybe she felt he did something to her that was wrong, and she is using the child to get back at him. She's mad at him. She's upset with him, and what he should do is he should talk about it. Needs to acknowledge it. Okay, so you're really upset with me. What did I do? What's going on? I mean, the best thing to do is to try to figure out where she's coming from and not just say, give me the baby, give me the baby, give me the baby. Maybe there needed to be more dialogue between the two of them. And he needs to have this conversation with her. She needs to be able to express to him what's going on inside of her. Is she jealous? Is she angry? Is she really upset with him because of something she felt he did that was wrong? Maybe we don't know. We only got the little couple of minutes. They film, and I think what's so interesting is that she didn't film. There were probably moments where she could have filmed him. He could have done and said horrible things or done things. We don't know. But then her reaction to it is where he puts the camera and starts filming. You know what I mean? How people can do that sometimes. And what he needed to do was put the phone down and have a conversation with her. She needed to say, put the phone down. I want to talk to you about what's going on with me, but I don't want to be recorded. let's me and you have a conversation. Like both of them needed to do that, and isn't what happened. I mean, it's not his responsibility to read her mind. She needed to elaborate, or he needed to ask the questions. That conversation was such a miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I had a lot of thoughts on this. But I want to kind of start with the word self, right? Just because we were talking earlier about selfishness in relationships and how our selfishness ruins our kids. I firmly believe that. I believe that we don't think about our children enough, and I think that causes problems. So, before you become part of a group where where you're supposed to use the word we, you do have a space where you use the word I, and you can talk about yourself until you become connected to some unit, some family, whatever. So here's what I want to get to. Uh, there was a time before this baby was born, before these two got together, where it was all about you. It was about you and yourself, and there's this thing called self-esteem, which my theory is that as Black people, I think that there's a self-esteem issue, a self-worth issue that maybe we got to address if we want to really improve our culture. And what happens in my belief is that when you have higher self-esteem, you have higher self-discipline. And the reason higher self-esteem can lead to higher self-discipline is because if you value yourself, then you're going to protect yourself. If you value your seed, you're not going to share your seed with any woman that walks along. If you value your body as a woman, you're not going to just let any man get into bed with you. And I really wonder how much thought was put. I'm sure there wasn't much thought because people don't. If you think, pay attention now. People don't really think hard about who they want to have sex with. Give me a yes if y'all agree with this. Like people don't really think hard about it. It comes down to like, well, she looks good or he looks good, and then people get in the bed or the sex is good or whatever, right? Because because maybe they're trying to heal some pain from trauma by seeking pleasure on a regular basis or following the culture, right? But the culture creates situations like this. The culture creates baby mama, baby daddy issues. The culture creates the STD problem in the community. The culture creates all these relationship fights. The culture is creating all these traumatized children, right? So you really got to think about the culture. So the reason I brought up self-esteem and self-discipline is because if you really want to understand what I might see from something like this, is I say, well, you don't have to lay down with a woman who's not going to let you see your child. You could actually take the time to make sure that her family values are in alignment with yours before we even take this risk that we might end up raising a child together. Maybe for her, it sounds to me like he was maybe, I don't know, maybe who knows, maybe it was a hit it and quit it situation, or maybe once they got together and made this baby, that he just decided to bolt because he's a 19-year-old YouTube star that thinks he's got all these other opportunities with other women. Well, maybe some of those things could be found out if you're not sleeping with somebody in the first couple of weeks, right? Again, it's a hard one though. It's a tough one because sex is very powerful. Love and lust is very powerful. But what that does is that takes you out of your right mind to the point where you're not making intelligent decisions, and you put yourself in what really are pretty stupid situations. They just become stupid, and then you're sitting here saying, "How did I end up in this situation?" And it can happen to the best of us, the smartest of us. I told you, babe, about my friend who has a PhD. He's a professor, and he was really mad. I saw him one time. He's in his 30s. He was really mad because he got a stripper pregnant. And I remember sitting there, and the stripper was a terrible mother, and he was complaining, "Bro, my baby's mama, she does this and she does that." And I'm sitting there looking at him like, what made you sleep with a stripper? You're a professor. I'm sleeping with a professor. That's a I'm not sharing my seat with a stripper. I'm not even gonna give a stripper any chance to possibly be pregnant. If anybody, just so y'all know, if anybody ever comes up and says Dr. Boyce impregnated a conscious stripper, I want y'all to just know that could not have occurred, because unfortunately, no disrespect to strippers, but you're not going to be near my stuff. I don't want my child to be raised by a stripper. So again, I don't understand why when I talk like this, people think that that's extreme or you're being judgmental. I think that that's called common sense for someone who cares about your life and cares about your future. And I don't know if we raised our children to really have those similar values. Your turn, babe.
I'm just wondering what would motivate somebody to have intercourse with a stripper with no protection. I'm not quite certain.
Oh, that part too. Yeah.
What type of motivation that would
Well,
be?
well, well, let me tell
Um,
you about. Well,
how
let me answer.
what level of
Let
loneliness?
me answer your question, so you have something to work with. He had tremendous trauma from his mother. His mother abandoned him as a baby, so his sexual history was very wild. He had some real crazy stories to tell me about threesomes and all kinds of stuff. So I'm wondering how much of that his situation with his mother played out in his relationships. Just like
It always
a lot of our girls have bad relationships with their fathers, and I think that plays out in the types of men they pick. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it's that's true for everybody. You know,
Okay.
your relationship with your mom has such an impact. Your relationship with your mother during adolescence has a real big impact on how you see relationships and nurturing and empathy further along. So yeah, that makes sense. Now that you said that he had some mom issues that did not go addressed, that makes sense that he would put himself in that sort of precarious situation. And so he need, again, another growth opportunity to be so well developed in one area, and then in another area there's still some growth that needs to happen, some insights, you know, and some connections need to be drawn there between his mother and his sort of act that he did that would produce a baby. I mean, he's in that situation, he's lucky to have a baby because he could have a real serious STD if he doesn't
Yeah.
already.
Or
You
you
know?
can have both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not here to judge people's choices. I'm just here to say that choices matter, and I think that the challenge for us as Black people is that we are trained to make irresponsible choices and then make ourselves into victims later on. But it's like you do have a say in your life, and I'm not here to tell you any different. I don't think that helps you to believe that your life is in somebody else's hands. So we got to plug up this conversation, I guess, because I've got
Oh yeah, time for you.
well, we got financial consciousness training that's happening pretty soon, and I'm going to give everybody a way to stay in touch with Dr. Alicia and to get a relation. She is a relationship therapist. She's very good. She's a certified trauma specialist as well, and she sees couples and families on a regular basis. And she has a whole series of books called The Drama-Free Family. On drama-free communications, drama-free marriage, all that stuff. If you go to drboycebooks.com and search for the word Alicia, you can see a lot of her books. They're really, really good. And also, if you want to learn more about what she does, you can visit coachingwithdralicia.com. And last but not least, if you text the word love to 87948, Dr. Alicia can send you some resources to help you and your family. In fact, the first thing you'll get is an e-copy of my book, Financial Lovemaking, which will help you to understand these complex situations with love and money. Because if you don't get this stuff straight, then your relationships will take away from your finances, and your finances will deplete your relationships. But if you do it the right way, then both of those things can work together in sync and create a better life for yourself and your family. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, babe, for hanging out with me this morning. I know this is the last minute. And we love you guys, and we'll see you soon. So have a great day. Please hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe, and also check my name on Spotify, and you can find us there. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.